Hi, it's Joy and Tango to watching Lucifer, Season 6, Episode 3, Yabba Dabba Do Me. I am very excited to see this very strange title, what is going on, who that girl is. I have had a few, crazy thoughts, but none of them are pinned down. The fact that she's kind of younger seems like maybe she could be his daughter or something, but then she's also an angel, and angels are, immortal, so I don't know. I think an episode title had the word daddy in it, so maybe she is going to be his daughter because of that, but I don't know. I am just excited to keep watching. I'm scared about Dan and where this is going to go for him, but at least she's not trying to torture him, and that is something to be away from my mind. A reminder that you can find the unedited version on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go. Ooh. Have you okayed this with him? She's done a lot of work on this.
Enlightening. For you. Of course.
Tell him the truth. He probably will be okay with it. But not if you're doing a thing about his innermost thoughts.
A friend of mine had been murdered, someone I cared about quite a bit.
Delilah, right? The singer?
Linda, don't. I don't want it because a psychiatrist should never write about their patients.
Chloe and fall into the trap of caring about someone again, so who better to help than someone I hate? Oh, Doctor, you're a genius.
Lord. It's fun to revisit the first episode, but if you are trying to do something about Lucifer's inner personal life and thoughts, you have to tell him, Linda. Not happy with you. Is he dead?
So when do we leave?
She wants to be included, and if you're going to include her up there, you might as well include her down there. And if it's easy to take her to hell, why couldn't you have taken her to see Dan? Linda could have gone to see Dan to help him with therapy to work through everything.
No.
Oh, see, it's not healthy. She's addicted to it.
Shouldn't it help me survive?
What if you leave Trixie alone if you do die on the way down, hey? Oh my goodness.
The deal now, you.
Lucifer, look out!
Oh.
There's a crazy angel here. She's gonna kill you. Oh, mean murder angel.
Oh, Dan.
What are you?
I fooled you, didn't I? Huh?
Oh, bless him. Oh, is he a ghost? Oh, is he a ghost? Because that's even worse than where he was. Oh, Dan. Yep. Chloe is in hell, thankfully just for a visit.
I'm in a deal, but apparently that's it.
And doesn't have any number, security numbers or anything like that. Social security, that's what you call it, isn't it?
I'm ready.
This is a bad idea.
It's probably good news is I shall be in complete control.
I think I saw a picture or something about this, but that explains the Yabba Dabba Do. They definitely said there was going to be an animated one.
Definitely not.
And they're even acting like them.
Insane. Jimmy Barnes brain?
I'm a smoothie. Nothing. Look.
Oh, I'm sure it won't stay that. This is amazing!
This is ridiculous. I love it.
Chloe, because I make quite the entrance.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Excuse me. Yeah, I have a problem. Bye.
Maze!
Lucifer, we can't. Do the doors normally disappear?
Oh no.
You look strong and very ready for battle.
Oh, she's trying to help him with his super strict training officer.
Listen, I know her.
Once a criminal, always a criminal. I mean, if you don't know that, then maybe you're not cut out for this job.
No, because there's reform and there's personal growth.
I would never think that way.
Is that a test?
I hope so. They might be able to give you the help you need.
Oh, that is what policing should be, helping people.
Excuse me? I'm in the middle of doing one of my performances.
If he's a devil, does he know how to leave? A demon, sorry. Oh god. Come on, Chloe, I love you.
Look, if you don't mind wrapping it up.
Well, if we're...
Definitely worse.
There might be a door now, right? Although is there no door because he's not mentally well?
Listen.
Why do you want to? Please tell me.
I know what it feels like to be in pain and want to hurt someone.
Dan is a good guy. You can talk to him, random
The person
person.
who gets hurt the most.
I would just start dancing, like, thanks!
Is very 80s.
Was waiting for him to do that.
Dabba do me. The devil is back. Guyliner. Really? What were they thinking? What?
I deserve better than you. Better than all of this.
So the one person that believed in you and you screwed her over?
Get the hell out.
The root of it all is the woman with the guitar.
So who is the woman with the guitar? Jimmy's first love? Maybe his first client?
I don't know.
His mum?
Whoever she is, well then for once, go after her.
Is it gonna work?
Helped him.
Did I?
Well,
You did.
yours back.
So it was a cartoon. Did his mum leave and say you're only holding me back?
Just watch your cartoons, Jimmy, and everything will be fine.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Doesn't excuse anything he did, including murder, but it's very sad.
He's only holding you back.
You couldn't have at least like left him with a grandparent or something. Yeah, your heart does break for that child. Doesn't excuse anything the man grew up to do, but if anything, Lucifer's showing that at the heart of every person there is something you can find that you care about.
I now see the pain behind the terrible decisions that you made in life.
Yeah.
This will have to suffice.
She's probably in hell somewhere, leaving her son behind. You'd hope.
We should go.
She'd want to see Dan.
Lucifer, before we go,
They can say that Dan's not there.
I have to see Dan.
And then hopefully he'll figure out that Dan hasn't ascended, so that they'll figure out he's probably somewhere on Earth in ghost form and we can help him somehow.
It was a bad thing that I grew to like Carol, but maybe it's like you were saying.
You can grow to
Maybe
love
it was a good
anyone.
thing, as is this. Finally, I'm ready to be God.
And Dan isn't here.
Because you thought it would be funny, because you thought I would fail, because
I'm your friend, Amenadiel.
Yeah. Maze has grown such a beautiful soul.
And I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You have
I
got
said
a
you're
beautiful growth, Maze.
I will not make fun of you. I promise.
I don't believe you.
You shouldn't.
Daniel,
You can see him?
I'm looking everywhere.
Lucifer, watch out!
These years I've spent hating you for what you did to me. Finally.
What did he do to you?
Revenge.
My
He's
dear
bleeding.
Lord.
I thought he was invulnerable now.
I'm your daughter.
Whoa. Okay, so that was one of the crazy theories that floated across my mind and then got solidified when I accidentally saw the next episode's title had the word daddy in it. But even then, that is crazy. She is like... So she has wings and Charlie doesn't, so she must be his kid with another angel? Can angels even have kids together? Because Amenadiel seemed to think that they just couldn't reproduce, or did he just think they couldn't reproduce with humans? That is very interesting, because obviously Lucifer has slept around a lot, and, you know, no shame on that, but accidents happen, and it would be very natural that he might have had one. If she's gonna be half human, because like with the blades and everything, has she really been, like, where was she raised? Maybe she had like a miserable life, but if she was like raised by human people because she didn't fit in, I don't know. I'm very intrigued to learn her story, and I do hope that we can turn her around from being a villain. You know, even if she just says, well, I want nothing to do with you, that's fine, but I don't want her to go up against him the whole time. I think she would be happier if she got to know him too, but I do hope we're going to hear her story next episode. Lucifer can see Dan, which is a huge weight off my mind. I kind of thought he might be able to, given that, like, angels, like, she was an angel and she could see him, but I was very concerned that it was going to be a case of, like, because she brought him up, she could see him and no one else could, or you had to be certainly looking for them. So it seems as though angels can see him, which is a huge relief. I'm hoping that means Maze might be able to as well, and Amenadiel. Because he's a ghost, I sort of assume humans can't see him. The only one that might be able to see him was Ella, because she had her ghost friend in the alternate reality version that might not be an alternate, yeah, you know, one of the weird episodes. Maybe she'd be able to see him, but yeah, I need to know more about the daughter. I'm very excited. I think it's such an interesting plotline, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of juicy storylines coming out of it, but I don't want it to end with, like, us having to fight her again like we were fighting Michael. I kind of hope there can be a different outcome here. And this is going to be something else he's going to have to work through before he can truly be ready to be God, as much as he's reached the point, realised that every single person has something in them that is redeemable, something in them that is good. Now, it's arguable, like with Jimmy Barnes, whether it matters at the end of the day that he was a sad kid. Like, I care for that child who was neglected and left and abandoned. That child breaks my heart. The man he became needs to rot in hell. Or at least jail, and then he died, you know, etc. It's an interesting concept, but I really love that Lucifer was able to see that not only is he kind of accepting that he's worthy, but he's beginning to see that he can care about everyone, which I love. I wonder when we're going to get with him going to hell. Is it going to happen at any point? I mean, that was episode 3, so we've got 4, 5, and that was the midway point. Is it going to be kind of at the midway point he's going to try and go to heaven? I still wonder if we're going to end up with him finding somebody else to end up being God, someone maybe more naturally suited to it now that we've averted the Michael catastrophe. But he was bleeding from one of her wing blades. Now, I thought he wasn't vulnerable anymore, because even if Chloe's around, which she wasn't because they were on the phone to each other, are her blades specifically the angel killing blades? Because that might make a difference, I suppose, if she's got her wings tipped in that. But then why she was so concerned about Dan, needing Dan's advice, given that walk up and kill him is what she tried to do. The fact that Dan made the deal and then, like, you know, yeah, someone like that wants to kill someone, it's not honourable. Get what you want out of them, and obviously in the long run it hasn't helped, but Lucifer can see him, which is a huge weight off my mind. He's not just relying on her to be like, by the way, there's a guy here. And I love that his whole plan was to tell Lucifer immediately. I think it was the fact that she was so cocky about him yelling, and so kind of like, why would that do anything, when made me think that maybe Lucifer wouldn't be able to see him. I just want Dan to be happy, and Chloe wanted to go and see him. Of course she did. The stuff with them as cartoons is very, very funny. I love this show. It was able to pull off the weird, quirky moments very, very well. But I'm just stressed out where we're going to go next, and it's going to be a lot for Lucifer to process. But I think it will hurt Lucifer, the idea that he abandoned a child and wasn't there for them. We saw how much that concept hurt him when it was Jimmy Barnes, seeing this person that he hated be left as a child. If Lucifer knew he had a child, he would have been there. Now, maybe he'd have been a terrible dad, who knows? But I don't think he would have abandoned the kid. I don't. And he looked shocked, so he clearly didn't know. So to go all that time hating someone who didn't know you existed, now maybe did the mother try to get in touch with him, and Lucifer was kind of in his pre-Chloe days of, like, just, though he hadn't been up to hell, that, I don't know. I'm very intrigued about what, my mother must be an angel because she has wings, I don't know. But it's gonna be very upsetting for Lucifer, the idea that he has failed a kid, because he was emotionally abandoned and banished by his own father. And I think while he's never particularly wanted children or discussed having children or ever really had that as an option beyond becoming a step-parent to Trixie, he would never ever want to put a child through that. So that is going to be something for him to deal with. I just want Dan to be happy. I need him to get to heaven. If we can't reincarnate him, heaven please, ASAP. Then everything else this episode. Ella is investigating her frog that fell from the heavens. Does she think it's to do with God being gone and, you know, the plagues and everything? Or does she think it's like a global warming thing and the frogs are jumping around now? We will see. But Lucifer, that was a sign that you need to get back up to heaven, that obviously now that this is happening, that's going to delay him further. And Amenadiel, I am really proud of him becoming a police officer. I think with both the police and the military and things like that, there are genuinely two types of people that, okay, well, the third set is people that just kind of think, oh, that's a salary, it'll do. But there are people that join the military and the police force because they truly want to do good, they truly want to help, they are socially aware, they try and make fair judgment. And then there are the people that think, I get to hold a gun and have power over somebody else, I get to be the man or whatever. The latter shouldn't get to have those roles, and they're the ones that are the bad apples. But so often I think people that come with idealistic ideals either look the other way, or there's such that culture of, oh, you know, the rat's got to come in, or we don't tell on our own. When, like, if the internal affairs are coming to investigate doing something wrong and they are doing something wrong, then they should be found out about it. So I think he's doing it for all the right reasons, and I actually think he's going to do a really good job under a tough training officer. I think he's not going to let it cow him. He's the sort of person she will take through. Now, I think it's interesting that if she has such a higher dropout rate than anybody else, then surely everybody else should either be doing it to her standards, or they'd have to tell her to lower her standards because that's not what the police force wants. I feel like, you know, a dodgy recruit can make it through because he was assigned to somebody else. Doesn't seem like the best system, but I'm really glad for a minute, I'm really glad he passed his test, and for a minute there I was really worried that she was going to be like, criminals are criminals, but then I was like, oh no, she's testing him. And I think the fact that she looks out for people and she doesn't just, you know, something like vandalism, it's not great, but it's not exactly life-threatening or serious. At most, I feel like vandals should be made to do some community service and clean up some vandalism or something, you know. Nothing life-altering and wrecking, because give people a chance and they will grow. But no, this was a really, really good episode. I'm loving Amenadiel getting to be a cop. I am stressed about where Dan's plotline is going. I'm stressed about Lucifer and his daughter, just what it's going to do to Lucifer, especially when he's at such a kind of good place right now within himself, and then this is going to be another bombshell. I'm very intrigued about why she hates him. Is it just for abandoning her? But then I feel like he never knew she existed. So yes, I'm very intrigued. I loved that we got the tie-in to the first episode with Jimmy Barnes as well. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon. You get those 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you for watching.